Yeah, I just want to be the greatest.
This video is brought to you by Patreon show sponsor, your friend and mine, The Third Era, and his wife, Leslie Arambula. She's an author, a teacher, and an editor. If you need any of your work edited, please check out our website, lesliearambula.com. I will leave a link in the description below. It's your boy Hi-Fi Vega back again, and this time I'm here to do a 1-aught OFC update. I've got two new brands to check out here. One is the Orion XTR, and this one is the Install Gear. Both are 1-aught, both are OFC. So before we get to that, I want to tell you about some changes I made to the 1-aught OFC cheat sheet. I will leave a link in the description below. It's just a spreadsheet that shows you everything that I've measured on this. Thickness, jacket size, copper weight, price per gram of copper, price for a 50-foot roll, all that good stuff. Before we get into the testing of these, let's talk about some of the changes I made. And a long time ago, some people had mentioned that they'd like the prices to go off a 50-foot roll, and honestly, I thought that was pretty fair, and I thought that was a good suggestion. So every price listed is at a 50-foot roll. I've also broken it down to what that price would cost per foot if you bought the 50-foot roll. Now, some manufacturers sell a price per foot at more than what it would cost for a 50-foot roll, but I'm just taking that out of the equation. So every price you see is based on what it would cost you to get 50 foot of one of these wires, whichever it may be. And for the ones that did not sell in 50-foot rolls, like the Install Gear here, it does not sell in a 50-foot roll. It sells in 25-foot rolls. So I took the price of that and doubled it, and that's how I got the 50-foot price. And the same with every other one that does not sell a 50-foot roll. I've also on the cheat sheet listed the places where you can find these rolls for the prices that I listed. There may be some variance here and there, but you guys know how the internet works. It's a little fluid on prices from store to store. So I do have all of the stores where you can get this for the price that I listed in the document. All right, what do you say we just go ahead and test these two out and see where they land on the list? Okay, we have two new OFC wires to check out here. We have the Install Gear 99% oxygen-free copper. Maybe I could turn it the right way up for you so you can check it out. And then we have the Orion XTR High Performance Zero Gauge Pure 100% Copper. Let's start with the flexibility test. These are both 12-inch links. Before we weigh them, I will cut them down to 6-inch links so they match every other 1-aught that we've tested. Let's start with the flexibility, like I said. And the flexibility on this Orion is not too bad. It's pretty good. It's not as good as New Concepts or the Sky High, but it's up there. It's towards the top end. Let's try the Install Gear here. I can tell you right now, this feels a little less flexible. I was able to get 2 full rolls out of it. Now, if you remember, or if you've seen some of the older videos, there were a few brands that I can get 3 full rolls in. Those brands were New Concepts, Sky High, and maybe one more that I forgot. Full Tilt, I believe it was. But yeah, these are flexible enough. I'll cut them down to 6-inch links. We'll see how thick they are. We'll see how thick the jacket is. We'll see how much copper's in there, what it weighs, and all that good stuff. We'll start out with the full weight of the Install Gear first. 87.3 grams. The full weight on the Orion, 75.9 grams. Now we're going to check the overall thickness on the Install Gear 1-aught. We're at 14.95 millimeters. Checking the overall thickness on the Orion 1-aught cable. .76 millimeters. Let's get the jacket weight on the Install Gear. 17.4 grams. Let's get the copper weight on the Install Gear. 69.8 grams. Let's get the jacket weight on the Orion. 22.3 grams, or excuse me, 22.1 gram. Now let's get the copper weight on the Orion. 54.1 grams. I have cue cards because you guys know I love cue cards, and I'm just going to kind of tell you different picks or different types of wire I think for certain people. So the first category that I had was picks for flexibility and price, and the picks I have here are New Concepts, Sky High, Full Tilt, and JY Power. These are all the most flexible 1/0 you can get, and they all have an acceptable price. These are around 4 cents per gram of copper. I think they're a very good value. So if flexibility is your utmost concern, check one of these out. On the other hand, if you're the type of guy that prefers a tinned wire for, you know, some kind of corrosion resistance, the 3 picks I have for you are, they almost match this one minus the Sky High. So it's New Concepts, JY Power, and Full Tilt. These are all 3 tinned, and they are 4 cents per gram of copper. So that's a very good value, and that is my pick for the tinned wires. Now, if you just want to get the absolute cheapest roll of wire you can get, so you want to get 50 foot, you know you've got a big build, and you need the cheapest wire you can get that is OFC or 100% copper and it's not CCA, that would be 1/0 welding cable. It comes in at $117.99 for a 50-foot roll. An amazing value. That's the cheapest you can find, and that is on eBay. I didn't mention this, but I'm going to leave as many links below for these wires so you guys can check them out and buy them. And you know, some will be affiliate links, some will not. So I'll make sure that you guys can find this. But again, the 1/0 welding cable for the cheapest per 50-foot roll. If you want the most copper for the money, I got you covered there. If you're that guy, I've got the picks here. 2/0 welding cable. It has the most copper out of any of them, and it is 2/0. So the guys are like, hey, you're using 2/0. This is a 1/0 shootout. Well, the reason I do that is because car audio wire, a lot of it is oversized, and it's comparable to 2/0 welding wire more so than the 1/0 welding wire. So that's why it's in here. But aside from that, the 1/0 welding wire is an excellent value, and the new guy, the install gear here, is it's cheap, man. It was a good deal. I think it's $129.90 for 50 foot. It's not available on Amazon right now, but I will put a link in the description below so you guys can kind of check it here and there. It does sell out quick, so if you're looking for it, check this out. And these are all 3 cents per gram of copper, so these are the cheapest you will find the wire. Now let's get into my top 2 picks. If you are the guy that does not care about flexibility, does not care about some of these other things that the car audio wire offers, and you just need the most copper for your money, and you want to carry the most power you can for the money, the guy who just wants the most copper, 2/0 welding cable. It's an easy answer. This stuff is not flexible at all. If you watched my earlier video, I will link the playlist below. You will see that this stuff is not flexible at all, but if you're running a straight run, you're gonna be okay. It's pretty good. I've used it in several vehicles. I know a lot of people have used it, and it's really cheap compared to some other wires. Now, I have one last pick. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of these brands. I've paid for most of this wire. People like you have sent me wire to test. So my pick, Hi-Fi Vega's top pick, is, boom, New Concepts. Anytime I need wire, I always order from New Concepts. I like the customer service. They ship fast. I like the wire itself. It is tinned. That's why I pick the New Concepts over Sky High, because I think Sky High is also a very good wire. But if I'm paying roughly the same price, I will go for the New Concepts just because it's tinned. I do like the jacket on the New Concepts a little bit better, and some of the accessories they sell. So that is Hi-Fi Vega's top pick, New Concepts. I still have 2 wires I need to test. One of them is the certified bass head from Downford Sound Shop and the Scar 1/0 OFC. If you guys have access to this and are willing to send me a 12-inch length of it, I have a shipping address below that you can send that to. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll give you a shout out because I need to give a shout out for this 1/0 wire. My dude Ryan from Budget Gym or Budget Bus sent this because he knew that this wire seemed super thin for 1/0 wire of actual copper. So shout out to him. I need to get this out of the way. Someone's going to mention this. Why don't you test this wire for voltage drop? There's one reason. I've tested up until this point 21 brands of wire, 1/0 wire. Now, at 3 on the low end to 12 or 11 or $12 on the high end per foot, I'd want to test a minimum of a 12 to 15 foot length of this stuff, because that's an average length of 1/0 that someone would use in their vehicle. That would be a ton of money. So that's why I haven't tested it. I might at some point do a test out of 3 or 4 brands that were kind of my favorite, my top picks, and maybe one of the ones I thought was the worst value, and see how that does. But aside from that, I hope you guys do appreciate these type of videos. It's the ones that I love to do the most. And I hope to see you guys, tell me what you do, what you don't like in the comments. What wire do you prefer? What wire do you think is just overrated? Let me know what you think. I appreciate you liking, comment, subscribing. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit that bell, do all the YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I appreciate all my Patreon supporters, but I want to give a special shout out to the 6-star or more members: 2001 Monolithic, The Third Era, G Nava, Joaquin Juarez, Paul Smith, Byron Chambliss, El Fuego, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, William Berg, Boxboy Audio Sound Solutions, Jesus Tires, and Orion the Great. If you want to help your boy out and score a little bit of extra content, Patreon exclusive, you can check me out at patreon.com/hi-fi-vega. I truly appreciate y'all. Oh, 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 oh.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.